Yeah, you got to peel back the curtain. So we had Mintz on about a month and a half ago, exceptional kid. Like I think right after he came back from the Maple Leafs. Like what has clicked since day one? That is a budding bromance. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I think both of us, just having that work ethic, you want to keep getting better each and every day, and the positivity, and he was going to bed early, waking up early. It kind of got me in that. So just being a pro, like trying to be like him, he reads, stuff like that. That little stuff, makes him how good he is and separates him from others. So just trying to copy him, obviously, like try to model, how he plays that 200-foot game. He's got a good stick, but he scores too. Just trying to, model your game after him a bit. Get that good stick like him, and just little things like that. Even though he is just a year older than me, you can still learn lots from him.
We saw Zegras pull it out. We saw Connor Bedard pull it out, and you believe it's going to be banned in the next 2 years. And you hashtag mark my words. Great hashtagging, by the way.
People took that tweet and decided to make it whatever they think. I think there was some articles about how I'm scathing Connor Bedard. I'm like, good Lord. All I said was I think they're going to ban it at some point in time in the next 2 years. And all I was saying was I'm not for the Michigan or against it. I don't care. I don't mind watching it or anything. My point was it's getting so easy for them to do it. They're so skilled that I could just see it getting out of hand. Why do you think it took 23 years for someone to execute that in the NHL afterwards?
I think the time span, and I could maybe think of maybe that time in the game where that's embarrassing to the other team. So if anybody was doing that, here you go, bench clearing brawl, you're getting your teeth knocked out, there's a bounty on your head, and I think I had my life threatened many times after that. You try that in a game, you're gonna break your arms and throw you in the fourth row. Just everything. Yeah, I'll find you where you live. Like, oh, okay.
So you're saying on this program that Nyes is better than Caulfield?
Exactly what I'm saying, and I hope I get radioed for that, and it's all over social media because I
He will
think the
be. He
better
will be.
American is Matthew Nyes over Cole Caulfield.
He will be one day. He will be one day.
Oh, okay. Don't do that. Don't do that. You think Nyes is gonna be better than Cole Caulfield?
I think so. You cannot trade this guy. This guy will be Chris Kreider. I'm not going to say he's going to score 40 consistently, but he's going to be a 30-goal scorer. You talk about majority of the games being one-on-wall battles and all that. This guy competes. When he gets the puck on his stick, it's going in the net. He's going to be a great, great player for this team. The question is
Well,
going to be
that's a
next year. What are we going to pay him? What do we have to lock him in for? Can we give him 5x5? That's going to be the conversation. I'm predicting that right now.
There's so many new ones out there. I know how I picked it up was, using the force of the puck, and instead of now everybody's like scooping it and running with it. Hoglander one off the back of the net and picking it up as a D-man spinning around. That one, Vechnikov's one in the first one in the NHL, I guess. That would be kind of like a landmark there. And then, yeah, they're all pretty impressive.
It's tough to manage guys that are making this much amount of money. And not saying the inmates run the asylum, but how do you motivate a guy that's already got $50 million in the bank with another 50 coming? They have to find that motivation themselves. And I talked about myself as a player. That's why I drank 2 Red Bulls of 5-hour energies and ran 5 laps around the rink, because I knew I had to be ready. I didn't have the luxury of waiting to the third period. If this coach looked down and saw my number midway through the first and I'm not going, I'm stapled to that bench majority of the game.
Way back when, I was using it as trying to get guys to do it as a breakout, like a defenseman from behind their own net, pick it up and throw it like a touchdown pass, and somebody could grab it, glove it, throw it down at the far blue line as a stretch pass or something. Or the one that I pulled off, it was pretty funny, with Marty Turco shooting pucks in my head after that, was a 2-on-1. As you're going in, I'm a righty going in on my offside. As a 2-on-1, the defenseman's you're gonna hold for the pass back door. So if you could hold the D man there, and then as a righty coming in on the left side, so instead of shooting from that spot or making that play, you pick it up and spin around and throw it from the outside if the goalie's playing out a little bit, and throw it behind you as you spin.
I think, yes, you have to make a move. And I think it's just based on the precursor of what True Living did in the summertime, taking Samsonov to arbitration, knowing that they had some question marks on him being the true number one. If they thought that was the case, yeah, you know what? We'll give you your 3-4 years at $3.5 to $4.5 million. But they had some question marks. So we're talking about how serious are they about taking this next step and going on a run. I think you have to make a you have to make a goaltender move. And you're talking about, well, Vegas, they didn't really have a true number one, Aiden Hill, Thompson, blah, 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 blah. But they have 6 stalwart defensemen where they protect their goaltenders. Colorado, they're on offense 73% of the game. They don't need a superstar in between the pipes. I think this team needs a true number one that can at least do the job or has been on a run before.
Billy Armstrong, he's flying around. Just the natural warm up, doing loops, taking shots at the goalie. And I remember I took my shot and looked down, and he was at the other end, and he somehow he picks up this puck on a stick, and he just had it up on his stick. I'm like, oh, how did that happen? Kind of started from there, and figuring out like I guess the olden days where you would do the wraparounds down low and, Dougie Gilmore from behind the net, spin around and going the opposite way and slam dunking it in down low. Well, you always see the goalies like cover the bottom of the net, cover the bottom of the net and stop the wraparound. And you see the gaping hole up top. I just kind of put it together and how are we going to get it up there?
Are you going Tampa Bay?
It's Florida. Dude, I watched Florida play. Again, the goaltending's been good again this year. They got depth in the back end. They move the puck. They play with structure. Matthew Tkachuk, obviously still dealing with some ailments from last year's Stanley Cup playoffs and the broken sternum. Contract year, Sam Reinhart's been good. I just like the makeup, the DNA of that Florida team. I think they're going to be a pain in the ass to play against, whether it's the regular season or the playoffs for that matter.
Yeah, I'm thinking Tampa Bay, right? Because they want
Really?
revenge. They want revenge, and they're waiting for their revenge
I think
too.
they're
But
beatable, man.
I'm just tired of it, man. You see the blown leads, the blown starts, the losses to the bottom feeders. Like how do
you consider yourself a high-end team, a championship-worthy team when your record against bullshit teams is that? I mean, it's not like, okay, you're not going to face a bullshit team in the Stanley Cup Finals, but how do you not have enough pride and enough ability and enough sound, systematic, well-rounded hockey team to beat those teams more often than not? And then to lose to them, that's fine. That happens. In this league, anyone can beat you. But to do it over and over and over and over and over, it's just like, what are we doing in that locker room? Who's preparing you for these games? Like, that's bullshit. That's minor league shit where, you have just a thrown together lunch pail gang of different guys as draft picks and everyone's clawing to get called up and it's not really a big team unity thing. You're the Maple Leafs who are trying to make a run here, who are supposed to be in your prime, and you consistently show up with those efforts against bullshit teams. It's so unacceptable. And I tweeted something the other day saying, do you think Keefe ever reams these guys out? Or does he just come in and say, tough one, guys? Like, or is it addressed? Like,
are you guys fucking professionals? What are you guys doing out there? Like, where's your head at before the game? Are you guys that cocky? And are you that big of divas that you think you just don't have to try because this team's lower than in the standings? Like, it's just unacceptable, man.
2020 in check there. Obviously Dale was coaching there, and Keel Thomas, pulled it back, his backhand roofed, made it 4-3. That was pretty cool. I remember watching that, and obviously he didn't play a ton and not a lot of points, but just those little factors on each team helps the team a lot. So everyone who's dressing, everyone who's out there, everyone who's in this organization, we all come together, and that's what it takes to win. So we're looking to do that.
I hope for consistency in 2024. I really do. I hope that they can just carve out an actual, like, what is their identity? Like, most good teams have an identity, and these guys just don't. Their identity is hope. We hope they do this in the playoffs. We hope they find a goaltender that works. We hope their defense is good enough to do XYZ. It's all we've ever done with this group is hope for the best. And I hope that we can just stop hoping and start like understanding like what the identity is.